Okay, there isn't a whole lot more to do, but like I said, I'll use a V-tool on getting some of these beards done. It's just a little quicker that way. But I'll show you how to put the beard on if you don't have a V-tool. And a lot of my stuff I don't use a V-tool, but I just start learning how much fun it is to use one, and it takes a little bit of time. I went ahead and marked the beard like it should be, okay, and the mustache and the actual top here. And all this consists of, when you do a V cut, it's holding the knife at an angle as you're going down to make your first cut, okay? And then I turn it around and I follow that same cut back up. Alright, it should come right out, just like that. Okay, you can do your whole carving like that if you like. It's entirely up to you. I think sometimes you get a crisper cut doing it this way, and it's not as uniform, which sometimes it makes it look a little more realistic, but that's how you can do your cuts. So your beard goes down like that all the way across, and make sure you get underneath the nose really well. And you do the same thing when you do this cut. It's the same way. You just kind of hold it at an angle and then come back and cut it out at the same angle. Just kind of follow your line back down, and it should pop right out. Okay, and if it doesn't come out clean the first time, well, then you go back with your knife and you clean it up. It takes a little practice to do this, folks, if you're not real familiar with doing it. I like flipping it upside down when I do it. It just makes it much easier. But that's pretty well it, folks, with the actual carving. Once you get all your line marks, and the hair is a little coarser, the beard is a little more refined. And what I do with the beard a lot of times too is I make little swiggly lines. Like if I'm going over here, I might make little S's. I'll show you. I'll just do one. Like so. And then follow it back up. And it should pop out. If it doesn't, I go back over it again, just like what I'm doing now. And you want to be careful you don't cut that out too far. Okay. So if you have little swiggly lines, it helps to make it look a little more realistic. Alright, just like that. You can do an S shape as well. And go around and do your beard and your mustache and all of it the same way. And if you want to use a V-tool, that's fine. The only thing with a V-tool that you really need to have it good and sharp. It's not the easiest tool in my book to sharpen. The nice thing about doing it with a knife is that you can take it anywhere if you're working on it. You don't need to take a lot of tools with you. The beauty of it as well is it will teach you how to handle your tool much more than you really have to handle your V-tool very carefully that you don't stab yourself with it. So a lot of it's with a thumb control. In fact, why don't I show you a little bit while I'm here. I have a standard little V-tool that I use, and I will use it to get up there, and I'll flip it over and I'll work my way down. Okay, and you just have to be mindful. See how I'm holding my thumb and pushing it at the same time? That way it's not going to slip off. My thumb is really my stop. It just makes it much easier, and then I flip it over to get up underneath. But sometimes if you're going to a cross grain, it's not an easy tool to use unless it's absolutely sharp. But there are really nice advantages. You can see how fast I'm able to do this. I know Jean uses it a lot, and I had one here and I used it a few times for different things, and you can really do a lot with it. It's a very versatile tool, but again, it's very difficult to sharpen up. So, you really have to learn to take your time in sharpening these. But as you can see, the results are much nicer, much quicker than using a knife. As you can see, I can get a little bit of a curvature in it once in a while, depending on how I'm doing it. Same thing when I start on the beard. I start in little strokes going up to my edge, and then I'll flip it over and work my way down. I need to clean some of this area up a little bit before I do it. One thing you want to remember too, before you paint one of these, just a couple of tips about that. You want to be able to first seal it. I use an acrylic sprayer that I use. It's a Krylon. You can get it at Walmart. Do not get the triple glaze. Get the regular sealer clear coat. Do not get the triple glaze, because then it gets shiny. You don't really want that. And you don't need to do that. You just need to seal it and put a coat. Maybe you put a coat and a half on, or not a coat and a half, 2 coats on. But you don't want to put it on real thick. The other thing you want to do real quick here is you want to go ahead and paint the top a gray color mixed with white and black, and if you don't have gray. And then this is a dark red. You can mix some red with some burnt umber. I'm sorry, burnt sienna to make it a little darker. Burnt umber is also a good choice. I use a little bit of blush highlight, which is just a little bit of white and the red for the pink, and white and the red for the lips. And then I used black. I used white for the beard and for the hair. And that's pretty well it. And a little eye screw at the top, so you know it goes in real nice and easy. And and flesh color for the nose and the face. Okay, so that's all that's to it. It's not a huge deal to paint. When I used an acrylic antiquing solution, I water it down pretty much. I'll take a thick brush and slap it on there real quick, and take a material like a t-shirt material and dab it, and that usually gives me that antique look. Okay. Putting eyes in is a little bit of a challenge if you're not used to it, but I hope you enjoyed this project. Like I said, you can make all different sizes. You can see this one's much bigger than this one. And there's another new idea I'm going to do with this. Hopefully I'll have that up in a little while. I need to make one. It's in my head yet. I have yet to put it on paper. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was a fun project for you to do. I'm going to get offline and I'm going to go ahead and finish it up and take care of the rest of it. And then when you have it done and painted, it should look somewhat like that. Alright folks, thanks again for joining me here in the Carver's Woodshop. It's a pleasure as always. Thanks for all the neat comments you've been putting on Facebook and on my blog and personally sending to me. I appreciate that. I hope it's been helpful to you. I know between Jean and I think we try to get the beginner started and rolling with carving. I will have more projects coming up soon. Okay, take care folks. Bye bye.